All right, let's go back to Mangaung now in the Free State, where police engaged in that standoff with ANC members, seemingly disgruntled. It depends if you view it from their perspective or from the leadership that says they should not have taken to the streets. And this is all about the provincial conference in Mangaung and registration. They say there should be delegates. SABC News reporter Makgala Masiteng is there joining us now. Makgala, what's the latest?
Now we have moved to the registration center where delegates have come here to register after that suspension. You understand that earlier on I was speaking to some of the members of Mangaung region who were not far from where the ANC is expected to hold its conference, who were telling us about some of their issues. But now we have moved to where the registration, it seems like it's continuing well up to so far, but I am with Vusi Chabalala from Thabo Mofokeng region, and we want to hear their side of the story, because we understand there at Imvelo it was not only Mangaung region members who were there, but also Fezile Dabi and Thabo Mofokeng. But I am with Vusi Chabalala, who initially we understand that you were one of possible contenders for this conference.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And remember that in the ANC, you don't choose to be a leader. The branches will always talk about you, and on that basis, I was definitely available for that.
So are you still standing? Earlier on, there was an understanding that maybe you might team up with the Thabo Manyoni team. What's happening in that end?
Yeah, definitely there are those negotiations. We are still in talks with the group. There are three lobbying groups, the lobbying group of Mantombela, the lobbying group of Ntate Manyoni, and ourselves, and we have been making sure that we talk to each other, and we haven't concluded on certain areas, so we are just been stressed by the process of registration. So I think as soon as that has been settled, we'll be able to have a moment of engagement to finalize on our own agreement as these three lobbying groups.
So what has been happening with the issue of registration? I understand that some members were here earlier on in the morning when there was that disruption. Were your members, or rather members from Thabo Mofokeng, affected by the issue of dispute over the delegates?
Yeah, well, the disputes are just been handmade, because remember, some of us, we were part of the national conference. And then in the branch that I come from, I was nominated for the three conferences, for national, for provincial, and the regional conference. So to our surprise, we have been told that we are no more delegates. It's just that these are the things that we have heard, and we were still waiting for the coordinator of the region to hear if it is true. But then Comrade David Mahlobo has taken over that process, and I'm sure they will give us an opportunity then to talk to the National Dispute Resolution Committee.
But with what is happening right now, the registration seems like things are now calm. Are you confident that the process will continue this time around?
Well, I think the exercise that has been done by the delegates during the day has actually made a clarion call to the leadership that they need to look into this thing. And I don't think this is how we should run the ANC. If you know that you've got numbers, or if you know that you are going to win the conference, why will you want to prohibit other comrades or delegates to participate in the conference? So these are the issues which are very foreign in the ANC. We see people buying people to make sure that they elect them into power. And this is now a reoccurring disease in the ANC, and I think we really need to deal with that matter. So we really need to work for the people, not for ourselves.
So are you alluding that there are people who are buying votes here, or?
These things are no more allegations. Fortunately, these people, they come, they tell us that so and so is giving me this money, and these are the things we see. I am not complaining about it, but I'm saying it is anti-ANC. We can't be known by everybody that the ANC is conducting itself in that manner. It is something that we really don't have to do as members of the ANC. So we need to go back to basics as the ANC and work for the people. Remember, this is a liberation movement. We haven't liberated our own people of this country. We haven't liberated our own people where I come from in Maluti. So we still have to work for our people. but we are now bottled into leadership and the positions. And these are the positions of the movement. They are not belonging to us. We are just been given an opportunity once we are elected into power to exercise the period that you are there and make sure that you work for the organization, not for yourself.
Let's come back to the issue of you saying that you are ready. If you are nominated, you can stand. And you're also indicating that your lobby group is talking to the 1 year of Thabo Manyoni. In case you guys agree, what will be the plan, or what are the discussions? Who will be standing for that chairman position between you and Thabo Manyoni?
Well, in my lobbying group, we have agreed that I will deputize Comrade Manyoni. And I don't have a problem. Comrade Manyoni is a seasonal cadre. He's a leader who have been there, and we know he has been the MEC, he has been the mayor, the executive mayor of Metro. So he has an experience. So it will be good to work with such a person, because we are still young, we are still learning the organization. And that is why it's important that we must understand this organization is bigger than us. So we need people that have been there and work with them. So it is unfortunate that we can't have two chairpersons. There will always be a deputy. And people must understand, I mean, comrades must understand that it's not about us. It's about the organization and what the people of this country want.
But are you confident with the numbers that you have?
Well, we are confident, but we'll hear. I mean, we need to adopt credentials. And fortunately, Free State, we know each other. Some of us, we know the 319 branches by head. So if people want to do their own tricks, I mean, we will be there, and to ensure that we don't adopt credentials without making sure that things are correct. So we'll participate in the plenary, and this is where the ANC will fight, and then we'll make sure that the ANC becomes victorious.
Let's close this with this. You have always been at the forefront supporting the former Secretary General Makgala, and today he was appearing at the High Court where the matter was postponed due to the matter that is pending at the Supreme Court of Appeal. Were you there? Did you hear what he had to say about this conference?
Well, unfortunately, I had to be in the provincial conference. I'm taking the mandate of the branch, and in terms of the constitution of this movement, the ANC is a basic. The branches of the ANC is a basic unit. So it's important that we respect branches. Like any other leader, we have supported Comrade Jacob Zuma, we have supported Comrade Mbeki. We are still supporting Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa, because in the ANC we are taught that once the leadership has been elected, we all rally behind that leadership.
But do you still support the former SG?
Well, Comrade Makgala is still, as far as I know, is still the member of the ANC. And surely I've been working with him very closely. I like any other, even Comrade Manyoni, even Memantombela, most of the leaders of the province, they've worked with Comrade Makgala. I'm not a new person, I'm still very young. And so what is important is that any leader that becomes a leader of the ANC must be supported.
Thank you very much. That is Vusi Chabalala, who's also saying that he will be ready if he is nominated for that position of being a chairperson. But he did indicate that they are negotiating between his group and that which is supporting Thabo Manyoni, where if they have an agreement, then Thabo Manyoni will stand for that position of chairperson, and then Vusi Chabalala will stand as his deputy.
All right, thank you, Makgala Masiteng, on the ground for us in the Free State. And we heard from NEC member earlier, David Mahloba, that the conference will go ahead, the ANC's elective conference there, despite the disruptions. And even though some members are still saying they should be part of the delegation, and they are not, even though they were chosen by their branches.